Okay, so once again, if Steam doesn't kick players randomly, this is session 11 of Pokerole. I am back after a hiatus, and hello everyone, especially YouTube. That is probably going to get the second intro, unless things crash again. But yeah, I'm in Canada now after a week of moving from the US, and I am now with Eragon, who is my boyfriend for those unaware.
That's me.
Yes, he's up there. He's here on the table. Well, he's a floating hand, much like all of us. But yes, things are got better internet. Got plans for the future for the streaming, for YouTube and Twitch, and it should be pretty good. So let's begin the session before things blow up again. How's that sound?
That would be nice.
Should I put on a?
You haven't latched yourself onto your character sheet yet. So you should probably do that.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Also, what song should be playing right now, Car? I forget where we left off.
Savantown, I believe, is appropriate.
Right.
Yeah. As I recall, only Tucker is with Rise right now.
This is correct.
The rest of us crashed at the guild.
Also correct. The rest of you crashed at the guild, and Solanda is basically using the three of you as a bed.
Right. And I went back with Rise Tucker went back with Rise because he wanted to ask about cute things.
Yes.
And then he got showed
Tucker
cute things.
got to have a bonding moment.
Yes.
Everybody thought that Rise was going to taint/corrupt the pure puppy, and it's like, why would you think that? Rise isn't that terrible.
Rise has self-control. Okay, I gotta ask one thing before we continue. Ed, why do you keep saying ow? He's been doing it for like 20 minutes. I have to ask. What? Don't die. Then I'll lose the stream.
He's talking about the stream, boss.
Oh, that's what he's talking about. Okay.
Oh.
That finally makes sense now.
We were actually worried about you, dang it.
I actually thought my mic was like too loud and he was dying or something from that. I wasn't sure. I had to make sure. All right. So I guess that's a good recap, though. We all went to sleep, and if I recall, Pangoro wanted us for an urgent thing in the morning. Or something?
I believe that's what happened. I rewatched the stream, but I don't believe I specifically said anything about Pangoro wanting you guys urgently, but I did intend for something to happen tomorrow morning.
Maybe that was an OOC thing then. Yes.
So, yeah, you guys have a relatively restful night, even those of you in the public bedroom, or a public bedroom. Tucker gets to have a bed in the quiet, all by himself for once.
Yay. Well.
Ralph, Riley, and the Slandit all spent the night with...
Yes.
And I believe the Squirtle did too.
Yes, I remember they had to drug Riley to make him sleep.
Well, I wouldn't say drug. Berry juice isn't a drug. It's liquor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose if you were to dry out like a really addictive berry and grind it up with a mortar and pestle and snort it, then it could be a drug.
Demonetized for drug.
Drug references. Oh my gosh.
Oh please, what do you think proteins are?
I've been seeing YouTube videos censor the word
carbos.
die because that apparently could get them in trouble.
What?
Yeah.
Rip any hair channels or fabric channels.
Yeah. Just oh my god,
This
yeah.
helps you in Eragon a bit after you
That's
move Charum.
silly.
I love you guys.
Aw, thank you,
Moving
Uncle.
on.
Thank you.
Charem Doc's heart.
Alright, so.
I don't think it's possible to snort nanabs.
You haven't tried hard enough.
Well, obviously, none of you are a primate, so none of you has a nose big enough for it.
Hippodon could.
Nose pass.
Yes.
Again, moving on.
Right.
Igia gets to roll. Let's see who wakes up first.
Oh, sweet. Here's my first one.
Did you roll a 6?
I got a 4.
Yeah, this is my first one.
Dang, you called it.
Yeah. I know, it's gonna be one of those days. Sure, one for the slanted.
May as well. You roll it.
Also, again, we rolled one for Tubby. No, never mind. He has one. I'm blind. Don't mind me.
Perfect. Alright. Tucker, you wake up first.
Energized by the cuteness.
Right. Yes. You hardly slept last night, in fact, compared to the others. You were so excited about all the things that you suddenly learned and the cuteness. And the idea, being the cute doggo. Not that you aren't already.
But it can always be increased. We must climb the mountain.
Yes. So you wake up invigorated. What are you gonna do? Because it looks like Rise is still asleep.
I think Tucker would be interested, since he is appreciative of Rise for being so nice and stuff, and also still has that little comment in the back of his mind. He's probably going to try something in the kitchen. He's going to go over to the kitchen and see if he can't possibly whip something up for Rise for once.
Okay. Give me smart survival logic.
Okay. Let's see. That is 1, 2. I don't have logic. Wait, where's logic? No, I have logic. I have 3.
Yeah.
Do. Come on. Oh my.
Well, Rise's home setup is sorry. Rise's home setup is actually a lot better suited to a quadrupedal cook than the bar, or at least what you've seen of the bar kitchen. And while it still takes you a little bit to figure out how to use some of the utensils, and also because you don't exactly have a prehensile tail like Rise does, it takes you a little while. But with some ingredients you manage to make, well, a breakfast. What essentially qualifies as a lopsided French toast and
Welcome back, Sharon. Greater than
bacon
W
pile.
lesson.
Because it was really difficult for you to avoid like the snapping fat grease, so you ended up piling the bacon on top of each other instead of in neat strips. So when you finally got it out of the pan, it was just a pile.
Oh great, it's a merged mega bacon.
It's a tangle of bacon.
It's a tangle of bacon.
Yummy.
That'd be a visual.
Or a bacangula, if you will.
Well, Tucker would be pretty proud of his meal, even if it is visually kind of a mess. It still looks pretty edible. So he would do his best to separate that bacon tangle and that French toast pile into 2 plates and place them on the table, kind of waggling his tail and waiting for Rise to eventually wake up. Probably smelling the food, I imagine.
To be fair, this is also your first attempt at cooking since becoming not human.
Yes.
And it's gone relatively well.
Relatively well.
Ralph and Brooke, since we'll get back to Tucker in a bit, you both wake up, and Solanda is on top of you, and Riley is like face down on his mat. At this point, having somehow rolled over.
Am I suffocated?
No,
Here, I think this will come in handy.
you are still alive. There is no getting out of playing this character.
Okay, I just want to pause for a moment. Shy, thank you so much. Shy just popped in with $500.
Fucking hell, what?
That is...
Oh
He
my
just
God,
donated
Shy.
$500.
Shy, I didn't even know...
Jeebus.
I thought you were away. Are you doing better? I hope you are. Welcome back. That was... Thank you.
Was that just a junk donation of $500?
That was a straight donation of $500, yes.
Jesus
Thank you
Christ.
so much, Shy. Jeebus.
That is one thing I'm willing to... I'm definitely willing to interrupt our session briefly for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, session interrupts for donations, especially very prominent donations like that are acceptable. Holy crap, acknowledge the Shy.
Everybody's acknowledging the Shy, as well deserved. Shy, I really hope you're doing better in your own situation. Feel free to talk to me anytime, alright? I'm always on Discord, except for... Well, I haven't been on the last week because I've been moving. Oh, by the way, I'm in Canada now, if you're not aware. But now I'm back, so I'm definitely around if you need me, so...
Alright then. So... Yes. Ralph and Brooke, you two are now up and currently have a slightly heavy Salandit on top of you both.
I'm tempted to just sort of roll over it.
The tail is flopped on you, Brooke. And the rest of the Salandit is like draped over Ralph, and the head is like resting on what is now Riley's back.
Wow, adorable.
I'm glad I rewatched the last session, otherwise I wouldn't know those details.
Oh no, wait, what?
Yo.
Wait, I missed something because I was briefly responding to Shy. What is Kyrio referring to with the which end? I missed something.
Which end of the Salandit is on him?
Okay.
Because the Salandit is draped over all three of them, and it's the tail is flopped on Brooke.
He has tail. I see.
Dull. Yeah.
Yes, Brooke gets all the tail.
Care makes a good blanket. Maybe his name should be Blanket instead. Joking. Yeah, but that's enough. It's time for breakfast. It'll take me a minute to get the voice back right, but
That's fine. It's been a while.
Ralph is going to I think Ralph is just going to stand up. I'm gonna try and wake up the Salandit. I'm gonna poke the Salandit and ask him to bring me breakfast in bed. So I'm gonna shake the Salandit awake. Gently-ish. Okay, are you awake? Okay, Mr. Salandit?
I am now.
Oh, that's good, that's good. It's good timing. Just, okay, so go downstairs, get some breakfast, and bring it back to me.
Okay.
That's a good boy.
Salandit yawns super wide, and without even questioning the fact that they're being given orders, just rolls and flops off of Ralph and starts to inchworm out the door.
Am I awake? Can I like grab him?
No, you are not awake.
got a
You are
shitty roll,
fast asleep.
Or did you forget?
Look, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
What? He's a good boy.
You are fast asleep.
See, been drugged, clearly.
Well, I mean, your first experience as a Pokemon and having alcohol, so...
On an empty stomach as well. Extremely empty stomach.
Not empty. You were made to eat food.
The rest of me was pretty empty.
Yes, your
Yeah.
soul. The void was filled with alcohol.
The hitboxes are so weird.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes they seem to shift between sessions.
In any case, eventually the Salandit sort of stumbles in and just sets down what is essentially a box of raw ingredients. I found food.
Oh, you're the best. Well, you're the second best. Yeah, you're up there, top 10 for sure, for sure.
Yay! And then Salandit flops over the food crate.
Okay. Alright. Ralph's going to enjoy the raw ingredients.
So you're going to eat raw ingredients meant to make food for everybody.
This is gonna kill you.
Or is it like for everyone?
It is literally a box that has like raw ingredients in it, like produce. For example, like whole onions and maybe apples.
Who
Sweet.
stores onions and apples in the same container?
Well,
Hey,
obviously the
both
people
red.
making an onion and apple casserole. Jeez, don't judge.
I'll judge all I want. That's weird.
There's just like generic produce in the box. There was nobody making breakfast, so the Salandit just like took a box of what equated as food and brought it up.
Well, he did deliver food.
Alright, I'm gonna eat a raw onion.
Because the apple would be too tasty.
It would be too obvious.
Can I like
Right.
roll over in my sleep so I can have slanted on my front side?
You may roll over,
Fantastic.
and as Brooke guides Salandit back over, he essentially just flops Salandit on top of you.
This is fine. This is preferable.
Oh, if there was no one there, I should go back there and start cooking. I'm gonna run downstairs
Okay.
and start cooking.
This seems like
Are you taking the ingredients with you?
Yes, I'm gonna take the ingredients with me.
apparently everybody feels like being a chef this morning.
Just thought it'd
Okay,
be hilarious.
give me smart survival logic.
Question: who will do better, the quadruped or
I'm
the
waiting for
biped?
all ones. I'm waiting for the whole
I
ones.
am waiting for the grimy food creation.
I'm see. So, Tucker did not make grimy food. Tucker just made tasty food that's a mess, right?
Yeah, you did not make grimy food.
Which is hilarious
then.
because most of my food is like that, by the way. Also, while that wasn't the best for 5 dice, not great.
Yeah, but it wasn't a complete failure,
No.
which is hard. So, Ralph, question. In your human life, did you cook for yourself very often?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
And if he did, it was simple stuff like, like spaghetti or like French fries, like easy stuff. Like he didn't cook complex stuff for himself.
Well, you don't have sharp claws. But thankfully, there are utensils for bipedal Pokemon, like Blaze, to cut and work the ingredients if necessary. And well, most of the ingredients in the box look like they could work in a soup.
Yeah,
So,
a sweet onion apple soup. Which I
roll-
could totally eat.
what should I have you roll?
Oh, is there a chef's hat?
Roll for me a smart plus your instinct to determine how much of the box you think you need to make a breakfast soup. And no, there is not a chef's hat. There is an apron, though.
Okay, I'm totally wearing the apron.
The apron is pink. It says "Kiss the Cook."
Why did I think that in my head before you said it?
That's like the standard thing to put on an apron.
Standard. Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's also Rise's apron, so of course.
Actually, maybe that's why, because you mentioned it on the previous episode. Perhaps.
I'm sure I've mentioned an apron of some kind at some point. Alright, so you don't do too bad. You've got an idea that you're not going to need the whole box. So you decide you're only going to take, like, a couple things. And so you get some water in a pot, and you put it on the stove, and you start chopping up ingredients and tossing them into the pot. And surprisingly, it doesn't smell or look too terrible.
You're
But
gonna
it's
be so
still
proud of me.
basically veggie stew.
You're gonna be so proud of me. All the Pokemon are gonna come down, and they're gonna eat my soup.
This is going to be glorious. Alright, so, Tucker, at some point, the smell of your food, tasty, though unbecoming aesthetically,
Just like him.
rouses Rise, and he drowsily pads over and quirks an eyebrow as he looks at the plated food piles, essentially.
Tucker hasn't even touched his plate, being too eager to wait for Rise to wake up and have his first. He looks innocently very pleased with himself.
Tilting his head, Rise sort of inspects the food and sits at the table in front of his plates. And he looks kind of confused for a minute. Did you make this?
Well, yeah. You said we could make food even being quadrupeds, so I wanted to try.
Is this your first time making food? And he leans forward and sniffs at it, and he looks even more confused, as if he was expecting it to be a disaster.
I don't know. It might be? I can't really remember. How'd I do? Kyrio doesn't even want to look at it.
By the way, Kyrio, some of the other Pokemon have started to wake up as well. Aside from, I suppose, Riley, unless Riley wants to wake up at this point.
Should I roll to wake up again?
No, you can wake up now if you want.
No, I'm fine where I am, actually.
He's going to snuggle his Salandit pet.
I'm
for a
gonna
while
snuggle
as-
my Salandit, yes.
Your emotional comfort Salandit, okay.
Yes. Look, I have a problem, okay?
Yes, you do, and it's not something Salandit can solve.
You don't know that. Enough of that attitude.
Okay. I mean, who knows? Maybe Salandit can solve it.
See?
Anyway, so Rise takes a bite of some of the bacon, then some of the French toast, chews it for a while, swallows, and he has this sort of critical, just generally thinking look on his face. Well, it's not half bad. As he turns his head to look at Tucker. Though it's not very appealing to look at. It's at least not under or overcooked.
Tucker just sort of beams at it, at this comment, looking a bit bashful and faltering the look as he's told that it doesn't look that great, as if he just didn't realize that until just now. But overall, he stays pretty happy and wags his tail.
Well, if you ever decide to retire from being a pioneer, I suppose I can teach you to be a chef. He smiles and then just starts eating breakfast, looking mildly less tired.
See, Tucker has been observant enough to notice that Rise has standards with cooking, so he actually gets quite blushy at that comment. Saying nothing, but obviously being quite thankful as he starts to eat himself.
Okie dokie. So Kyrio is away for a bit.
Yep.
So some of the other pioneers have started to come down for breakfast, including a grumpy-looking, very familiar Charizard.
Oh.
coming out of essentially the broom closet door that leads to the supply area. Oh, welcome back, Kyrio.
Oh, hi there, Mr. Blaze.
Wait. He looks down at you, squinting through bleary, sleep-ridden eyes. Munchlax.
Yes, my name's Ralph.
Ralph.
Yes, a soup's on.
What do you mean, soup? And he groans, just rubbing a hand down his face. Wait. Why do I smell food? I only just got up. Rise is supposed to be off today. Why do I smell food?
Don't worry, I got it all under control.
Just one eye bugs open and swivels around before settling on the pot of produce. Oh, that's going to get me yelled at.
Nah, dude, everyone was up. Just have some. Here you go. I
And
picked some up.
there are other pioneers that are just sort of filtering down, like, really? Breakfast is done already? That's awesome! So,
Okay, they're happy already.
so is Ralph going to be handing out soup?
Yes, I'm gonna be handing out the soup portions.
So, Blaze is just going to have his head in his hands, and he's continuously muttering about how this is going to be terrible, and how it's just not going to go well for him later.
Oh, but bro, I got to give the nice people. I got to give the nice people the soup. Everyone's gonna love it.
Alright, let's see how many people actually like the cooking. Well then.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, there's a decent number of them who actually don't mind the thing that you made. Apparently, you didn't end up putting apples in with, like, lettuce and cucumbers and peppers and onions.
What's cucumber
Instead, you actually...
soup?
Well, I mean...
Oh boy, I love hot wet vegetables.
I totally, IRL, I totally would mix apples with those things just for the sweet, spicy thing.
I'm sorry, Kyrio, but that sounds salacious.
No. Take it from me, Tubby. Apple cabbage soup is disgusting. I have tried it. It is disgusting.
I've had like salads and stuff with apples thrown
No,
in.
but okay, sure, it works in a salad. It does not work in a soup.
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever liked an apple except for in a pie, cake, or by itself. Except for maybe caramel apple too. That's fine. Those are good.
Anyway, yeah, please continue.
Not even applesauce?
Applesauce. Oh, I love applesauce. Cinnamon applesauce. I forgot about that.
So,
Good stuff.
yeah, apparently there's a generally positive reception to this amalgam of a breakfast.
To Ralph's soup.
Ralph's.
Or no, Ralph Castro. No, it's not Castro. Let's see, it's gotta have a cool name. As I contemplate what I should name my we just call it Ralph's Special Soup.
The quartermaster walks over and uses a ladle to dish out some soup for himself. And he drinks it down.
So, how is it, Mr. Blaze?
It's chunky. And then he turns around and just... Yeah, Ralph. Just like you.
You. It's a good thing when
I'm going to get yelled at.
It's a good thing when you really come out in your creation.
So, yeah, the quartermaster just walks back into his supply area, wanting nothing to do with this until it's all over, if possible. And Brooke, the soup is... You are a very carnivorous creature right now. There is no meat in this dish. It doesn't even taste like meat.
It's just gonna make him hungrier.
There's not even like...
Can I do something adorable real quick?
Yes, you may.
Can I like wake up and just carry Slanded out to the main area?
What, like a plushie?
Not like a plushie, I'm like hold him close, like a small child.
Yes, like a plushie.
Sure. How do you carry a plushie?
Well, usually a small child carries a plushie like hugging it to their chest and walking along with it in front of them.
Yes, like that.
Have you ever had a
Yes, that's how
plushie, dear? As a kid?
Not till I was, I think 7.
Oh.
Oh.
Plushies are good. That's why I have a
Plushies
ton
are
in this room.
So yes, I will allow this. I'm not even going to make you roll strength. It's too cute for me to deny.
Fantastic.
Do you want me to try something for lunch too, Leader?
So, yes, you come down to the smell of produce stew and pioneers at tables having this stew, and Brooke looking very dissatisfied with it.
I'm just
And
gonna
Ralph,
go.
for some Arceus forsaken reason, is in the kitchen.
I'm just gonna go sit next to Brooke and keep holding my lizard.
The
I will
Salandit
place
is
it.
really clinging to you.
I'm gonna place 2 portions of soup in front of them.
I don't.
It's like your produce. You could call me the producer.
Oh boy.
Yeah, eh?
Oh boy.
God.
So, how about that?
If my hands
mission?
weren't full, I would throw it at him. That being the soup, not the Slanded, but my hands are full of Slanded.
I'm sorry, you hand a bowl to the Salandit?
No, I would throw the bowl back at Ralph, but my hands are full of Slanded, so I'm not touching the bowl.
Okay. This is a decent assessment. So, at some point after breakfast, Rise offers to walk... well, I keep trying to say Riley when I mean Tucker. I don't know why.
Maybe we've had too many one-on-one interactions, me and that cat.
Not enough.
Oh.
Not nearly enough.
I vote not enough too.
Fear?
Also,
Not out of
not
pocket.
nearly salacious enough for me to make this kind of mistake.
What?
So,
Eragon should really catch up on the chat.
but yes,
I'm trying not to be honest.
Rise offers to walk Tucker to the clubhouse since he has some free time today,
Aw.
and he doesn't mind doing so, especially after being treated, which is, he'll admit, relatively uncommon.
Tucker did a good.
And
Tucker...
I feel like he's about to be glad that it's relatively uncommon in a minute.
Tucker would gratefully, happily accept the walk. Liking to walk with somebody. Especially Rise.
Oh boy!
It's something good.
Time to roll for reaction.
I'm hoping
I'm
it's a
wearing
1.
his age
I'm hoping
too.
it's a 1.
I mean, there's 4 dice here. It's a
It's
1.
a 1.
2 1s, a 5, and a 6. Oh boy. Oh boy. So,
That's a roller coaster.
Tucker, Rise is first into the clubhouse, and you almost bump into his butt when he stops in the doorway.
Oh no.
Rise is staring directly at the bar where the Munchlax is in his apron, serving food that he did not approve.
Ralph waves blissfully.
He blinks and takes a moment, and without even moving his head, rakes his eyes across the dining area, making sure nobody is vomiting or having diarrhea or some adverse side effects.
Oh god, immediate side effects. Give it a
Everybody's
couple of hours. For
Or,
now,
you know.
give it a couple hours.
Yeah, everybody seems to be fine. Or, at the very least, not puking up their guts, or just, you know, it's not to their taste, so they're not. Rise just takes a deep breath and proceeds to walk inside with his normal gait, and then clambers up onto a stool to sit beside Brooke.
Hey, Ray. Look, I'm cooking. I'm cooking stuff.
So I've noticed.
Yes.
He pours Rise of poison.
It's really good. It's Ralph's special stew.
He gently pushes it away a bit with one paw and gives a just generally nice smile. I'm sure it is, Ralph. However,
it's okay.
Tucker was kind enough to make breakfast for me before I woke.
No.
Tucker is doing a mix of confusion, head cocking, and beaming at the comment. Taking a sniff at the soup and slowly backing his nose away from it again.
Again, it's not terrible. It doesn't
it's-
smell awful, but it's certainly not palatable to everyone.
It's a bit meh.
Yeah, it's not exactly well made.
Well, if you guys don't want it, this or that. Wait, I haven't had the bowl yet. Sorry, I'm gonna eat this one then. And he gobbles it up.
The Salandic gives a tiny squeak and blinks sleepily, starting to wake up. Rise just sort of coolly looks at Ralph, watching him test his own creation. So who gave you permission to run the bar?
Jim, you know when I just came. I just came and they put on the apron, and then they chopped up the onion.
So how did you get to the ingredients? And his eyes slowly move over and lock onto the supply closet. And you can almost feel the air in that direction lower a few degrees.
You know, my friend helped me. That's we got in there and we got it.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment, Ralph. As much as I distrust the quartermaster with cooking, I cannot exactly trust you just yet with resource management. So, until you are supervised in the act, I kindly request that you refrain from cooking, at least in the bar. You're free when you make your own resources, buy your own groceries to cook your own food. You're just lucky that nobody is having an adverse reaction.
Oh, of course not. I know what I'm doing. Sort of.
It's better than letting a Garbodor in the kitchen.
Yay. So, I suppose you want your apron back?
Please hang it up back on the hook where you found it, Ralph.
Jokey. I think most of the nice people already came and got their breakfast. So, hangs it back out. It's very comfy.
Rice is more patient than I expected.
It was really hard to tie though. Like I had to suck in my belly to fit the strap around.
I guess I'm going to have to get that refitted. He mumbles to himself. And, yeah, like, the whiskers on his right side are just twitching occasionally up and down. Tucker, I do believe I'll be going home for now. Do be sure to check in with Pangoro, or at least check the notice board. I need to have a moment alone. And
Oh, that's right.
hops off the bar stool.
I'm gonna bring a portion of soup up to Pango Dingo.
Oh no. But yeah, Rise hops off the bar stool and walks outside.
Aww.
And in the distance, you can just hear screaming. Just distant screaming.
Tucker looks very upset.
Just not even like really distraught screaming, just in the distance. What's all the commotion? Salandit wriggles in Riley's hand. Pangoro is probably in his office, Ralph.
You're going up the stairs with the soup portion, and knock.
Oh god, I guess I'll bring Salandit with.
To the office. Let's switch songs.
Oh goodness, yeah.
No, that's good. You should let me do what I want to do.
Oh dear.
I didn't think.
All of you are heading up to the office to make sure Ralph doesn't
Get killed.
Yeah.
Spare him, Pangoro.
Pangoro opens the door, glaring or squinting, it's hard to tell, down at Ralph.
Good morning, Bingo Jingo. I made breakfast for all the nice people here, all the nice pioneers. And I made you some too. Here you go.
So you're telling me that you were allowed in the kitchen?
Yes. Yes, I made some soup too. Here you go.
He just takes the bowl in one hand and continues to stare down at you. Not even intentionally looming over you, but doing it in. Rise, or whoever he designated for today, let you into the kitchen.
Well, you know, I just kind of went in.
We're not with him.
Another deep sigh, and he turns around, and there's a brief slurp, and then he walks to his desk and sets an empty bowl down on it. All
Yeah.
right. It's way too early. So, Brooke. He turns his head sharply, looking at the Totodile. Is anybody downstairs looking ready to throw up? The answer, by the way, is no.
I mean, you could say yes, just to see what happens.
It's true.
It's D&D.
I think Brooke's been fairly straight and on the straight and narrow, though. Is that the statement? I don't know.
Yes.
That's a phrase I don't use very often.
Man. I'll be right back, super duper quick.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Oh, and Riley, he lifts a hand pointing at Riley. Let your Salandic go. He has more work to do.
Wait, it's like barely awake.
Not right now, but today.
Aww.
Aww. All right.
Don't worry, you can have this replacement.
Don't want that. It's not the same.
Maybe you'll find someone making plushies in the market.
I don't want a plushie. I just want Lizard to be around.
In before fan art shipping of Riley and Lizard.
I want this. This is fine.
Well, since no one is sick, I suppose I can actually start by giving out the first mission of the day. Also, I'm sorry if my voice for Pangoro is not as deep as it usually is. For some reason, my throat is not up to the task.
It's okay. It happens.
I should practice before the session. We actually received an urgent summons from one of our local allies. Apparently, an important member of their pride has gone missing. I'm going to just flat out assume you know nothing of local politics or territory. So, I'm afraid that means Unfortunately, I'm going to have to explain this to you. And he walks over to a wall and just pulls down one of those sliding, like, display tarp things, like you would see in school. Except it's made of, like, bamboo slats.
Convenient.
Yep, it has a map of the region.
Ooh.
That seems to be divided into many colored segments. And he takes out the little, like, bamboo sprout in his mouth, and with a snap of his wrist, it extends out, becoming a pointer, and he points towards a rather large red central area on the map. This
that was
is a
so cool.
This is a territory controlled by our ally. They're a pride of Pyror that go by the name Zeo. We have generally good relations with them, and they tend to trade meat product with us for other supplies and aid when they require it. Since there are some purely carnivorous Pokemon that are counted among the pioneers and our citizens, it's mildly important that we keep up good relations. That's a good question, actually, Kyrio. Thank you. How about you all roll me... Roll me Logic Instinct.
Okay.
As strange as
Logic
that may seem.
instinct. Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Okay.
Riley, you may also add Primal to it.
Oh,
Just add another
okay. Remember that. I got 2
roll.
successes.
Just add another roll to it. Or
If it's a 1, I lose something. If it's anything else...
you lose
Oh,
something.
good. It's worse. Fantastic.
Oh, sake. Okay, so you guys don't recognize the map.
Okay.
It does not stir memories. It does not look familiar at all.
Good for nothing
And-
voice in my head.
Well, the voice hasn't been around for a little while.
It's been yesterday.
Yeah, but only briefly. Also, they haven't divulged any information to you.
Stupid voice in my head. Doesn't know shit.
It's not like you're on amiable standing, so...
So, are you gonna put like one of those "You Are Here" stickers for where we are? Wait, where are we on the map?
There's another drawn-out sigh, and Pangoro just rubs over his eyes a bit. It's way too early for this. This is why I didn't become a teacher. And he snaps the pointer down to a sort of cream-colored region to the southeast of the centralized red one. Here is both Savantown and the Baked Plains. For all intents and purposes, Savantown and the Baked Plains are our collective territory. At least as far as official territory marks go. South of us, and he draws the pointer down to a blue-lined coastal region. Crap, I briefly forgotten the name of the coastal town.
Sea Spray.
Thank you. South of us is Sea Spray and the collective coastal region therein. Technically, that is also under our purview, though they have a personal branch of the Pioneers Club down there to keep themselves protected.
I see spray.
Moving back to our task at hand. He taps at the red area. There are many Pokemon, particularly wild locals, that form clans, prides, tribes, etc. Most of them tend to settle in dungeons, but the wide open areas of the Plains continent don't lend themselves to what are normally considered, and he uses air quotes here, dungeons. These wide open territories are generally claimed by more powerful tribes within which other smaller wandering tribes, clans, prides, etc., whatever the heck you want to call them, will be roving in. As such, usually it is the overarching tribe's job to... No, how should I word this? To keep the peace in their area. When they can't,
Dear God, getting
usually
bits
it's
was
the pioneers
stressful.
that get
I
called
just
if
hope
we're
this
on
helps.
good terms.
Share 'em.
And if not, we might offer our services if it means we can get in their good graces and stop having to fight over walking through a simple field. Are you getting this so far? And he looks at all of you.
Yes. We gotta go, and we gotta get the lions to stop fighting.
No.
We gotta make sure they don't fight each other.
I would facepalm, but my hands are full.
Ugh, what I wouldn't give for some Chesto coffee.
Hey, Car, one little thing. Though I guess it's not a big deal. Sea Spray was actually on the East Coast, not the South. But it doesn't really matter. You can flip it.
Well, it's still on the eastern side. It's just south of Savantown.
It is south. It's more or less southeast. But yeah, south is technically
Yeah.
still accurate.
Savantown is not, like, all the way on the east side either. It's just
Yeah.
the easiest path is to go south of Savantown.
That makes sense.
At least as far as my mental map goes. This is mutable, as in it can be changed, so... That's what retcons are for. Anyway. We received an urgent missive from one of their emissaries, stating that the Prince of the Zeal tribe has gone missing. This is... not uncommon. What is problematic, however, is that the prince has been missing for several days. Usually if the prince goes missing, it's probably for a few hours, given their playful nature. I'm still unsure as to how the prince continually slips their retinue, but... He actually opens up one eye and looks over at Ralph in particular. At this point, nothing surprises me. This is a relatively important job, and while it may just be that the prince got lost, I still need to send teams out to investigate. Since we have a multitude of higher-end teams, being guided, particularly by your Salandit friend here, through the Cadal Cairn. Words, please. Cadal Cairn. I'm sending out lower-ranked teams to sweep the large territory that the Pyro Pride possesses.
So you can count on us. Ain't that right, bro?
I have to warn you. In the area controlled by the Zeal Pride is a pack, led by a powerful Mightyena. They rove around and are essentially the equivalent of bandits on the other continent. If you run into them, either attempt to flee or, at the very least, negotiate peaceably with them. Even if you only see one or two of their number, do not be fooled. The pack is never far from its scouts. And don't have anything valuable on your person. They will extort you for everything you have if they can, or they will take it if they can't. If you were stronger, they might just leave you alone. But considering they've been more active the past few weeks, I'd prefer my teams come back alive and or not enslaved. Speaking of Mightyenas, he rubs the back of his head and this time gives a somewhat exhausted sigh. Tucker, you may not have a good time. At least not when dealing with the Pyroar, anyway. Considering they have a long-standing conflict with the Shadow Pact, it may be wise for you to stay back and let your fellow team members take care of the diplomatics.
He's a diplomat.
Tucker folds his ears and lowers his head a little bit, nodding in kind of a glum understanding. All right, I'll keep my head down.
Thank you. It's unfortunate, but it's not as though we can simply erase the prejudices of the locals or ourselves. Still, if anything, you've shown me that there are some stereotypes that can be overcome, even if by fear tactics.
Yeah.
The Salandit just sort of fidgets in Riley's arms.
Can I pet the lizard?
You may pet the lizard. They still fidget.
I will continue petting the lizard. I will comfort this lizard.
Fidget would be a good, decent name for a Salandit.
I mean, if you guys ever give the Salandit a proper name.
His name's Lizard!
That's not a name, that's a descriptor.
How dare you!
Also, yes, Kyrio, it does have a lot of Lion King vibes.
So this, yeah, we can do this. It might be tough. Tough like, let's see, tough like a well done steak. It'll be tough, but it'll be so good.
I would rather eat boot leather. Made from an ancient Tauros, baked in the plain sun, than a well-done steak.
Didn't you just basically describe a well-done steak?
Yes, he did.
Oh my god. Lizard is a slur in Ivolis. Oh my god. I get that reference. That's a good reference, Max.
Oh,
I'm the real I
wow.
prefer well done.
I completely forgot about that.
I remember that. That was good.
Before I forget. And he flicks his apparently extending bamboo sprout back and puts it back in his mouth and slides the screen back up to wherever it's stored. We've been getting reports of vigilantes out on the plain. They seem to be disruptive to our activities for some reason or another. I have a mild suspicion on who it may be. But if, for instance, someone were to attack you while saying things like, "You are ne'er-do-wells," and he sort of waves his hands and has this unamused look about his face, or some silly shenanigans like that, don't hold it too hard against them.
Ne'er-do-wells. Now that's a good word. Damn,
I'm sure they just mean well. But I suppose as a general rule I should lay down. Unless you are being confronted with lethal force, do try not to extend lethal force.
Yes, okay.
It's different,
Exactly.
however, if you must hunt to survive, but those are extenuating circumstances. Speaking of survival, you should probably speak to the quartermaster for this. Your trip is going to take a while.
Jokey jokey. Is there anything else, Mr. Penguin?
You four are part of just several teams that are being sent out. So, don't be surprised if you do a lot of searching only to be called back via pick-a-peck.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll run into something really cool. After all, we found the treasure in the other dungeon.
I'm sure you will. I get the distinct feeling you all have a very peculiar luck about you. It's unfortunate. It reminds me of my team pioneering days.
Ooh, am I the you of this team?
No.
Who's the most like you?
He actually takes a moment to consider this and furrows his already angry-looking brow. Honestly? I'm kind of caught between Riley and Brooke, which is weird for me to admit.
Oh, you're great. But you're a really good mayor. Okay, let's go talk to Mr. Blaze. Oh, wait, that's not my call. I'm sorry, Buck.
Yes, the curse of being main characters, i.e. peculiar luck. Pangoro just answered because you guys reminded him of his days as being a pioneer on a team, and Ralph asked, well, who do we most, blah blah blah. What was the wording?
The wording was, who is the you of this team? And then he
Okay.
asked if it was him.
Yeah, and he said that he was essentially a middle ground between Riley and Brooke.
So if you combine Riley and Brooke, you've got Pangoro, right?
Kinda. Like, I don't think any of you is actually a proper analog to Pangoro.
That is the most vague connection, that's all. That's all he means.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, are they dismissed then?
Yes. He sits down in his chair and waves a hand. Dismissed.
Sure, yes, sir.
Oh, and make sure that Blaze gives you a map. The emissary was under the assumption I was sending someone who actually knew the way to the Pride's location.
Oop.
So, make sure he gives you a map.
Get the map. Find the map, find the map.
Dang it, that was in my head. Stop reading my mind.
Yes.
Alright, Ralph follows his fearless leader downstairs in a proud march.
Well, downstairs it's cleared out a bit. Though,
Only 2 people died.
yeah, hold on.
Oh, yes, sweet.
It's cleared out a bit, but Tropius is, of course, sitting in the corner with the Cubone, as is tradition. And surprisingly enough, the Purloin, Shinx, and Litten from yesterday
Oh.
are downstairs, and they seem to be talking with Blaze, who has donned a chef hat.
Oh.
Oh,
was
he
it,
found
hat?
the hat. I looked for the hat. I couldn't find the hat. I'll bet my soup would have been even better if I had the hat.
I don't think anything could make you better, Fatty. The Purloin waves a paw dismissively.
I am pretty fat.
So what are you all newbies doing down here?
Newbies.
Shouldn't you be doing, like, errands around town.
I'm gonna turn this
So
off.
I finished with that. I cooked the breakfast. Did you?
Oh, jeez. No wonder it reeks of vegetables around here.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Really? You wasted all the breakfast stuff? Man. See, if Blaze here had done the cooking, I bet it would have been super delicious. The Charizard has this just done with things look on his face.
No, yeah, I don't
Flattery
doubt
gets
that.
you absolutely nowhere, Purloin.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I had his pizza one time, and it was like super good. And he did it super cool. He like put it down and he breathed fire on it, like wah.
So yeah, Brooke completely ignores the haughty Purloin and the Shinx. And the Litten is, like, not really confronting anything at the moment. Just sort of curled up beside the other two, being a lazy cat.
Oh, how about your friend could cook stuff with her fire? Does she do fire yet?
I can fire your face.
Oh, don't do that. That will hurt. Can you?
Also, did you just assume I'm a girl?
No, you're hearing things. I definitely did not do that.
Oh, please, Litten. Let him assume away. It's funnier. Blaze coughs and sort of gives the trio a... Shouldn't you all be on a mission? Or do I need to get your mom? Fine.
See, guys, someone thinks I'm funny.
By the way, thanks for the hat. Bye!
Oh.
And the Purloin rushes out with the other two, and Blaze blinks a few times and waves his hand above his head. The hat is gone.
You gotta give me a hat too. I want a hat.
I didn't give them a hat. Took the hat. Team Mischief. It's in the name.
Well, that's fun.
Let me guess. You're on the same words, please. I can do the words. Let me guess. You're on the same mission as those three. And he points at the door. And he points at the open door that Team Mischief has left, just sort of swinging.
Oh, great, they're involved.
So, is we're not on a mission to collect hats. We're on a mission to go see the Pyroids.
Isn't that a mission to collect cats?
Yeah, we're collecting cats, not hats. They're collecting hats. Ooh, what if you put the hat on the cat and then... No, that's silly.
Can I sort of just whisper to Slanted? Is there a way you could shut him up, maybe?
Anyway, Pingo
You
Jingo
wish.
said you have a map. We need a map.
The Salandit shakes her head. I wish. I don't have anything. He'd probably eat me before I could stuff his mouth full of my tail.
Oh,
In fact, I don't want to do that.
I don't think you want to do that. I will put the Slanted down on one of the tables.
The
I'm gonna just
Salandit-
ignore this Charizard.
I'm sorry?
I'm just gonna ignore the Charizard and just hang out with my lizard.
This is fine. Yeah. That's the same mission that Team Mischief is going on. In fact, you guys are like the fourth team I've had to supply today for that.
So I'll bet Team Mischief is going to use my idea and put that hat on the
I feel like you're referencing something and I don't get it.
Neither do I. I don't think I do.
Oh yeah, here. And Blaze opens up a drawer and puts this kind of hard, waxy-looking orb in Brooks. Got it from Sea Spray Town. We got a recent import of luxury items from. Try it. Not on you, on him.
What you do?
I don't know. Open up and find out.
Or a snack? Can I eat it?
Well, it smells of bubblegum.
Okie doke. I chew it up. Nom nom nom.
It is like super sticky, taffy, peanut butter consistency with bubblegum flavor. It is like super taffy. Yeah, he's gonna be like that for a while. Anyway, since you guys don't know your way around, you need a map, right? Anyone who is not idling at a table or trying to dislocate their jaw eating taffy, come with me.
That's okay.
Tucker trots along.
Blaze leads you two into the supply area and goes behind the barricaded zone using a key to get in, partially squeezing in because the door was not entirely made for a Pokemon of his exact size. Okay, let's see here. Scroll, 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 scroll. No. No. Oh, definitely not that one. Oop, that is somebody's wall scroll. No, that's a pinup.
Oh,
He
Yep.
tries to ask of who, but his mouth is full.
I have no idea how the fan art got here. Do people really think they can get away with trading supplies for their weird stuff? Finally. Alright. So I don't have a map of the continent. Those are kind of hard to come by. But I do have one of the immediate area. And he holds out this rolled up piece of paper. And when you unfurl it, it looks like a much more a more closely zoomed in version of the map, closer to Savantown and the Red Territory area, as such that the entire upper left portion, almost through the rest of the map, is Red Territory, and then there's an icon for Savantown and the edges of the cream-colored territory that Savantown controls. Let's see. And he pulls out what looks to be a Murkrow feather and dips it in a small bottle and marks an X deep in the red-colored territory. Right around there is where Zeal is, or at least where their main host lives. And if you need anything else marked about the area, let me know. I'll try and get it accurate, but I can't guarantee that my knowledge is up to date. I mean, I'm mostly stuck in the closet here. He shrugs. You guys will probably need at least a week's rations, too. I can spare that, but if your trip goes on any longer, then you're gonna have to start foraging for yourselves. and he reaches under his counter and pulls out a bag of rations for each of you. It'd probably be too heavy for you all to carry to have camping supplies for each day, so y'all are gonna have to rough it. But that shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, if you're lucky, Ralph can probably light a campfire on his own. Blaze just smirks.
They'd have to be pretty. They'd have to. Yeah, they'd have to be exceptionally lucky, though. If it like lands on fire blast or extreme heat or something, then I feel like I'd be lighting more than a campfire.
Depends on the locale, really. Might want to put it on some rocks then.
Yeah, considering it's a rather arid region. Leaning on one elbow on the counter, he braces his chin in one hand. So, anything else I can get for you lot?
Let's see, can I talk yet again?
No, you can't. And this is the point where I tell you that he is in charge of storage. So if you would like to store things, now is probably the time.
Yes, Ralph, like, in a mimey fashion, raises one little claw and then, like, takes his money pouch and, like, does a hand motion, like a lock up storing hand motion.
Tucker doesn't really have too many items, so I think Tucker's gonna be okay. Brooks really...
Yeah, Tucker doesn't have much in the way of valuables. You have a gold bar, but technically money is counted in storage.
Yeah, it's just a little fact about it. The others might want to consider their loadout depending on how much... I mean, who knows? Searching for, I assume, a lit Leo. I think that's what they're called, right?
I have all the materials to deny death.
Deny
Yeah.
death.
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yeah, oh, and Ralph's gonna kind of like stuff the Thunderstone in the bag, in the little money pouch where he gives it to store.
So you're gonna store it?
Yeah, I'm gonna store the...
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put it over there.
that makes sense. Put it on your right mat if you're storing items, I'd say. Makes sense. Unless they're in the garment or held item slots, we'll just know they're stored. Source landed. Yes, there you go.
No, the Salandit is being a guide. You can't store the Saland.
No, don't store my lizard. How dare
You do have to part with the lizard all the same.
No.
For the time being.
No. We're having like a really prolonged moment here.
Yeah, Ralph's gonna keep the reviver seed on his person.
Oh, hey. You may want to be careful if you're carrying or holding anything particularly valuable on this trip. Pangoro probably told you, but there are bandits around and they will extort the Arceus out of you. I mean, they couldn't care less about, say, scarves, but orbs, particularly powerful garments or held items, they'll ask for those if they can. But if you're confident in your abilities, go right ahead.
Ralph could offer them a bowl of soup instead.
Ralph does not have bowls of soup on his person.
No, he doesn't. But he can make some.
With what supplies?
What he finds, I guess.
Yeah, he'll just like...
Or he'll try to steal Brooks' berries.
Well, I could offer to go back to their hideout and cook for them.
Berry oatmeal. Sure.
You'd be like, instead of stealing from my friend, I'll go to your hideout with you and cook you a nice meal.
Well, oh, you didn't need to move where your money was, Ralph. Because technically the space it's in is called food and storage, which is basically your money is counted as in storage.
Effectively, we can't directly get robbed of money, only items.
Yeah.
Unless
say you suddenly obtained money in a dungeon, in which case that money can be taken.
Yeah. And on that note, if we obtain money in a dungeon, perhaps we should place it just above the food and storage. Where do we store things? Put them on the right mat. That was what we determined. As long as they're not in the garment or held item slots, they count as stored. Just anywhere on there is fine. Waypoint. How did you do that? How did you make a waypoint?
Waypoints are important.
How do you do that? I'm curious.
I don't know.
Tab. Oh, nice. Most important waypoint. Hold tab makes a line too. Oh, fair. Well.
Alright, anyway.
I think so, has, but yeah.
So, for now, you guys have been given the provisions that you can hope to obtain. You could probably try to ask for more if you felt like trying.
Roll for diplomacy.
Oh, smart.
Actually.
Give me... Ooh. So, you can... Brooke, you can use either cool or smart plus contest. I know that doesn't have any difference at the moment, but in the future it might. Blaze discreetly slips Brooke a gumball over the counter.
You know, it's funny. Despite his demeanor, I feel like Ralph would have okay political negotiation.
Depends on who he's talking to.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that Ralph is going to step up when we need him to and completely shock everyone.
I mean, I...
Well, Tucker doesn't feel the need to ask for extra supplies, seeming content with the arrangement. That's very true.
Part of why I don't need him to roll as often. In any case, when you all are ready to leave, you may go around town and do things before you...
I mean, I think I'm ready to go aside from I want to, say goodbye to my lizard.
I mean, Tucker has the items he needs. He made a good meal, ate it. It was a mess, but dogs really care now.
Riley skipped another meal, so he's ready to go.
Well, it's not exactly Riley's fault that this meal got skipped.
Yeah, this time it's not his fault. You blame the chubby.
Poise, as you want a quick personality overview, Ralph is kind of actually more cunning than he seems, but a bit of a ditz on the surface. Brooke is a bit hasty, but a good leader, and also very straightforward and honest, very blunt. Riley's got a lot of PTSD stuff going on, is kind of
He's got mad problems right now.
A little illogical, a little bit self-destructive, and Tucker is a cinnamon roll. So, there.
Cinnamon.
I mean, I believe it's been agreed that Tucker is a cinnamon roll most times.
both in
point, I'm ready to
build
say
and personality.
At this point, I'm ready to say that whenever Riley interacts with Lizard now, it's like adorable.
Yes.
And I'm not quite sure why. It's a complete turnaround to how Riley has been before.
It's a security blanket.
Steve, what have you done to my child? See, this is the results.
I love that term.
What?
Zelanda is just sort of sitting on the table, kicking their legs over the edge a bit.
Tucker will probably sit up and give a pat to Lizard because he knows that they are going to part again.
I wanna scritch behind ears.
There, now it's named Lizard.
Yes.
There really isn't ears in the traditional sense, but
I'll rub behind the things on the back of his neck.
They twitch, and Lizard sort of leans against you. I should probably go do my job now.
Ralph thumbs up and waves goodbye.
I will tell Lizard to be careful.
Aww. Lizard puts on their archaeologist get-up hat. I'll try. I hope there aren't any more acid traps. 5 is too many. And they start to scuttle off. But yes, there is a week's worth of rations for each person. If anybody actually wants to get food to eat, there are places you could purchase food if you really wanted to. In like the marketplace area. It wouldn't be particularly expensive. Rise is just expensive because his food is that good.
Tucker is currently a bit broke, so Tucker is comfortable with his rations and the idea of keeping his nose open and up for anything extra they might need. Good response, Kyrio. In the main chat.
Really? You could give me an oranberry? And Lizard fidgets a bit, hanging onto their own tail. No, I think I'll be okay. Thank you. They squeak and scuttle off even faster. Ooh, goodness, sorry.
Lizard better not steal Tucker's cinnamon roll position.
At least my cinnamon roll.
Aww. Okay. In which case, now is a good place for a brief pause, because I need to stand up.
Okay. You can't stand for this until you can, anyways.
Well, I've been, sitting on the couch cross-legged, and I need to stretch my legs.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Alright. Brief break. Grab drinks and/or snacks.
I have a... How big is this? Eragon, how big is this water container?
Hold on, I'll come and have a look at it.
I can't remember.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
It's gotta be like half a gallon. Actually, maybe more. I mean, is it half a milk jug? Is it bigger than that?
It's at least half. It might be 2.5 liters.
2.5 liters.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, it might say on the bottom. Just for this.
Don't think so.
No, it doesn't. It's big. It's actually a really good water bottle because I should be careful. You don't want to even setting things down heavily next to the mic can damage it.
How sensitive is that mic?
Well, the way it's formed is basically the reason it's so good is because it's made up of sensitive parts. Guan cautioned me to be very careful of it. So, all right, see you back in the game. Yep. Yes, for those unaware, Eragon and me are in the same location now. So, you can tell I'm in a new location, everyone, considering you don't hear fucking cars every two minutes.
Yeah, the cars are over by me. I say with quotations.
There's a few cars, but none of them are noisy, I noticed. So that's pretty cool. Not very many.
Not very many. Not in the busy part of town.
Yeah, we're in a suburb, sort of.
It's not really a suburb.
We're in a neighborhood, sort of.
Yeah.
Good. I was hoping I wouldn't get denied twice there. But it looks like we're ready to at least give our mission a start this session. Once Car finishes stretching, anyways. There are no cars in Pokerole. How do you know? Maybe Rotom could turn into a car. You don't know this.
So far, it's the calmest Pokerole. I like it.
I like it. I like it too. I like how Voice Deck said that. Also, thank you for the $20, Fox. Closest we have is Wilpede. Yes, get 4 of those together and like put some other bigger Pokemon on top of them there. So what is this whole reward sharing from Cheers? Is this a new feature? Or was this...
It's for the Pride Month, I think.
How's it do? Does it just share... What does it do? Like, it just gives bits to other people, or...
No idea.
I have no idea either. It gives us these rainbow emotes. Does it give me rainbow emotes? I will check now.
I got that.
Hold on.
Apparently.
I somehow broke... Oh, I do have an emote. Oh, I guess I have earned some. Also, for some reason, loading the emotes list is complete. Fucked up the chat. Wow, that's cool. I have these. Pride is sexual. I mean, I'm not, but I have friends that are. That's pretty cool. It's actually cool to see.
I have these.
I want the lion. Oh well. How do I earn these? Is this because you guys have donated to me that I earn them too?
Yeah, basically donate, then you get gifts to share.
Cool. Well, I imagine I'll earn some more by the time this month ends then. Hopefully.
Most likely.
Hopefully, anyways. I want the lion.
The lion.
One of the lions, anyways. I see there's several. There's sure a lot of them. You cheer 200 or bits, you get emotes, and other in the chats get gift emotes. I see. And I guess I count, so that's nice. Pride Lion. I don't know why there's a Pride Lion specifically, but hey, cool.
Well, because lions group together in pride.
Oh yeah, duh. Hey, kind of appropriate that we're Pride Month and we're gonna go deal with Pride. That works in Pokerole. That works. This is thematically appropriate.
Question: how late are we gonna go?
I'm fine with going further. What does everybody else feel?
Yes, I'm game for much later.
I was hoping we could at least hit the road before the session ended.
Well, yeah, that was my intent. I just didn't know how much longer we were going to go. I figured we were probably going to go for another hour, maybe.
We'll go for another hour and a half.
Okay. Well, it's up to Kyrio mainly. I think he usually has to go at some point. Is he still here? Or is he here right now?
Yeah, it's a BRB.
He did BRB. Well, we'll let him determine when he comes back, ultimately. But let's, oh yeah, that's right, we're waiting for him. That's why we also took a stretch break. Forgot he left and didn't come back. Oops. We gave him a minute. Where is he?
Oh no. You have all encountered Old Ironhide.
Uh-oh.
I love all the fan art of Dynamaxing.
I'm not actually sure what dungeon we're
Dynamax
going to.
Ghastly. It's just a giant ball of gas.
Oh boy. Well, actually, if you expand a ball of gas, it may explode. Just point that out.
Dynamax Electrode just explodes.
If you don't know what Old Ironhide is, you should have been watching earlier Pokerole. No.
Yes.
It is on YouTube. You can.
There's a few pictures of Dynamax Wailord just hanging over the
Oh
planet.
my god. We even have Dynamax Charm Art already. This is true. We do actually have Dynamax Charm Art.
Actually, Fox, Old Ironhide
We need more of it, but
a quote-unquote elite encounter in the beginning area that Riley had the misfortune of meeting. And
It was a close fight. I nearly had him.
yeah, and you nearly fainted too. I should have let you.
I would have been fine.
I'll get the picture.
Well,
Hold on,
okay,
guys.
at least you still have the confidence.
Oh man, the giant Dragonite in like one of the early anime episodes has a canonical explanation.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I may have broke... Oh, there he is. I broke everything for a moment. Also, since people were asking here. There you go. Dynamax Charm. It does exist now. It's on the table if you guys want to see it.